Rockdale County, established in 1870, has witnessed the progress and contributions of African Americans over many decades. Larger-than-life figures are often the focus of discussions of Black history. But let us not forget, just a decade and a half ago, Rockdale County itself made history, starring our very own citizens. It elected its inaugural African American officials in county offices, a momentous occasion that paved the way, sharing their remarkable stories and enduring impact they've made in shaping the political landscape of Rockdale County. Welcome to the historic Slate of Eight, Black History Made in Rockdale. As late September 2012 welcomed the slightly cooled autumn air, a collective of determined and inspirational minds convened, poised to etch their names into history. Serving as the cornerstone of this ensemble, Deborah Anderson successfully persuaded the group to embark on a joint campaign. Tension loomed large among them. For many, it was their inaugural foray into official office. Others grappled with doubts about fate, wondering whether to entrust their destinies to others' hands. Yet, resolute and fortified by strategy, they held steadfast, drawing strength from each other and eventually garnering unwavering support from the community on their transformative road to victory.
I was a very busy litigator at the time, so during that time I was still going to court, representing clients in a variety of matters. I was raising my family. It was a busy time.
Prior to the election, many of our rookies were already entwined with the government and their greater community.
I had been involved in community events and working with my church, and I wanted to become more involved. I had been running my construction company and years before I graduated from law school. So I had an interest in getting involved in the legal community, and this was an opportunity to be involved.
I couldn't help but to always think about the current sheriff that was in office. He was once my boss. I thought about, at the end of the campaign, what could happen to me? Could I lose my job?
And yet, they still wanted more for themselves and their community.
It was exciting because, as you know, the county had been predominantly run by Caucasians, and then now we have an opportunity to show what we can do as a people.
We're not going to focus on any negative stuff that was coming at us. The one thing that I can remember that, race was not an issue for us. We didn't have discussions about any other race. Nothing negative was said about people that did not look like us. Even nothing was negative said about people that did not look like us that said they weren't going to support us. We just continued to focus on what we were running on, why we were running, and what we were going to do for this county.
I felt the impact of that during every day I was on the campaign trail, whether it was someone honking as I was holding a sign on rain, wet, sleet weather, sunny days too. I remember on my birthday knocking on hundreds of doors. It just became the single most important thing that I was doing for myself, for my family, and for my community at the time. I felt all of that weight.
During my campaign, it was very challenging. My first time running, I received a lot of support because, again, I think the citizens was excited that they had 8 Black individuals running for the office for the very first time.
When you went out to campaign, you were campaigning for everybody that was on the slate. So that made it made it easier because you didn't have to cover as much territory.
The balance only came from the supporters, from the campaign team, from the community. I remember local restaurant owners feeding me. I had no time to cook during that time. They provided all the substance that I needed to run. I remember my friends and family that were holding signs up for me, knocking on doors with me, encouraging me, being my biggest cheerleaders. It really was a community balance. It wasn't just me.
During this period, our county was swept in a political whirlwind as the world underwent a significant change. In 2008, history was made with the inauguration of the first African American president of the United States, and he cast his name in the box yet again in 2012.
There was a major shift in Rockdale County, and yes, for the first time, now you had this wave, or maybe I should call it a movement of African Americans who was interested in local leadership and local government.
Being on the ticket with President Obama during his second run felt amazing. I remember going in to vote for him as well as myself, and it was just surreal. And I think on a local level, it just added so much to the celebration of our community to know that their vote counted in such a huge way on a local basis.
You know, encourage people all over the world, particularly Rockdale County, to come out and vote.
President Obama was going into his second term, and Chairman Oden was already in, and Ruth Wilson were already in, but bringing the rest of us in and all of us coming in at one time, it was really exciting.
It was clear that we had really one goal. That was for everyone on the ticket to be elected. We knew how important it was for each of our individual teams to connect, collaborate, communicate, and to be able to work in harmony to make sure that the next person up or down on the ticket was supported and was elected.
I felt like I was doing my job at that point, to just offer myself up.
And so they campaigned under the united front known as the Slate of Eight. The newcomers were pitted against entrenched incumbents who held sway for an extended period. It was a challenge they willingly undertook, fueled by their determination and desire for change. For the experienced hands, the race symbolized the progression of Rockdale County and the representation of individuals like themselves in its political landscape. They worked hard for months, gathering votes until that pivotal day of November 6, 2012. By the 7th, their destiny was sealed, and they confronted the outcome of their endeavors.
I cried profusely.
Being black and taking over such a powerful seat, a powerful position, you know, people that looked like you and I did not know how they were going to be able to work for someone that looked like me.
Never have been in a political office before. It was kind of scary in the sense that I didn't know what to expect. I was anxious to get in and get started, but part of it was research and studying on how to run the office.
The song that rings out in my head is an old song. Sam Cooke, "A Change Is Gonna Come." When we played the song at the campaign victory party that night, we had a combined celebration of the entire Slate of Eight.
Ushering a time of change with new personnel, Ruth Wilson, a veteran in holding office, offered this guidance to the rookies at the time.
Even after you win the position, there will be challenges to your authority, and understand that you will have challenges, even when you're doing the right thing. Not everybody's going to be happy. So it's no small matter to offer yourself for public service, because it's more than a commitment. It's risky.
It was a risk they took proudly as each went on to serve their terms to the best of their ability. Tune in to the next episode of the historic Slate of Eight, Black History Made in Rockdale. to explore the legacy of this pivotal moment. Discover how these 8 remarkable individuals boldly embraced change, serving their terms with pride and dedication. Learn how their courageous leap into modern times left a lasting imprint on Rockdale County, shaping its future.